All right, so today we're diving into Tai Chi Chuan. Like, as a martial art, we're really going to try to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
We've got excerpts from the Sifu Adam Mizner interviews.
Yeah.
He's the Yang-style master.
Mm-hmm.
And these are from his interviews on the Martial Man YouTube channel. So we're going straight to the source for this.
For sure.
Now, you know Tai Chi, it's got this rep for being gentle and almost, I don't know, kind of mystical.
Right.
But Mizner's journey to Tai Chi, not your typical story.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. I mean, the guy starts out in hard styles, praying mantis kung fu, training his body to be this like weapon, you know, speed and force. That's the name of the game. Then he encounters this Yang-style grandmaster, and this guy's just tossing like seasoned martial artists around like it's nothing.
Wow.
Effortlessly, and like radiating the sense of joy while he's doing it. It's incredible.
So that was kind of like a turning point for Mizner.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just like, oh, here's some new techniques.
Yeah.
It was like a whole different way of thinking about martial arts.
A total paradigm shift.
Yeah. Almost like he was evolving into a new species.
He calls it becoming a Tai Chi creature.
Oh,
which I love.
I love that.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening who's maybe explored Tai Chi a little bit, you know, imagine that transformation.
Yeah.
Shedding those old habits, tapping into something deeper.
Absolutely.
That's what we're going to unpack today.
For sure. And Mizner talks about undoing. It's like undoing that deeply ingrained instinct that we have to rely on external force. Like, we're so used to muscle tension, aggression. It's almost an addiction, right? He compares it to that, breaking free from a powerful habit.
Right.
And he's really clear that you can't just dabble in true Tai Chi. Like, you have to fully commit to this internal transformation.
So let's unpack this undoing process a little bit, because Mizner keeps mentioning this word song, and this idea of release.
Right.
And I get the sense that it's a lot more than just relaxing your muscles.
It is. It is. Yeah. Song is about surrendering, like surrendering that death grip we have on tension, both physically and mentally. It's about trusting in something beyond just brute force.
Okay.
And as you surrender, as you find that song, that's when your chi, your internal energy, can naturally begin to sink and fill your body.
So it's almost like your body becomes this vessel for this energy.
Exactly.
And I love that analogy that he uses, likening it to a glass being filled with water.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't just happen all at once.
Right.
It's a gradual process of filling from the bottom up, building that foundation for something, you know, much more powerful.
Right.
And it makes you think that this is something that you could apply to any area of your life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not just martial arts.
Totally, yeah.
So we're not talking about like hitting the gym and getting ripped, right?
Right.
It's more about cultivating something internal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like almost like a, I don't know, a reservoir of energy or something.
A different kind of strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mizner, he describes chi as this like wave-like force that flows through you.
That's it. Yeah.
Which is so different than what we usually think about in martial arts.
It's funny. He uses this phrase. He calls it external styles are all about balls and levers.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's such a funny visual. You know? Because it's true. You think about like traditional martial arts, it's all very mechanical.
Right, exactly.
But Tai Chi it's this whole other thing.
Yeah, but how do you use this wave? Right.
Yeah.
Because like, how do you control an opponent with a wave? How do you uproot somebody with this invisible force?
It's a great question, and that's where it gets really interesting. Yeah. Because it's not just chi, right? It's not like this thing in isolation.
Okay.
It's this synergy between song, remember, that's released chi, so your internal energy, and then jin, which is like this refined power. So they all work together. And it's like, you know, you see this in the interview where he's working with his student, right?
Right.
And he's having the student push on him.
Yeah, and the student's like completely stuck.
Totally stuck.
And it looks like Mizner is like not even trying.
Barely putting in any effort.
Yeah.
That song at work, right?
Okay.
So the more you can embody that sense of release, the more you unlock that advantage.
Okay.
It's counterintuitive, right? Because you think, oh, I need to be tense. I need to like force my will on my opponent.
Right. Like you're trying to muscle your way through it.
Exactly. Exactly. But, you know, think about it. Like when you're tense, when you're trying to force something, how often does it actually work out well?
Right.
Like, you try to hit a golf ball really hard, you tense up, you're going to shank it. Same with like if you're writing and you're all tense and in your head, you're not going to write as well as if you're relaxed and just letting it flow.
Right. You're overthinking it.
Yeah.
Totally.
You got to find that flow state.
Right.
And that's like that song in Tai Chi. It's like by letting go, by cultivating that internal release, that's when you tap into your chi.
Okay.
And you could transform it into that jin, which is that refined, explosive power.
So it's like, it seems paradoxical, but it makes sense.
Right.
You know, you're not pensing up. You're actually like finding that relaxation, that release, and then that's where the power is.
That's where the power is, yep.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about, you know, we always picture Tai Chi as this slow, flowing movement, especially pushing hands. But Mizner is adamant that, you know, Tai Chi Chuan is a complete fighting art.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking about strikes, kicks, grappling, like the whole 9 yards.
He is.
So how does that translate to a real fight, though?
Right. Like if someone comes at you throwing a punch, you're not going to be like...
You're not going to do like a slow motion.
Exactly.
Tai Chi move, right.
Well, and that's the thing. He says the key is in the approach.
Okay.
It's a tactical thing. So he calls it this: stick, adhere, join, follow.
Okay.
And he says, like, it kind of flips the script on how we think about fighting.
Okay.
He says, like, it's not about you chasing after your opponent.
Okay.
It's about, like, creating a situation where they are drawn to you.
Okay.
Where they, like, stick to you.
So it's almost like you're creating this, like, invisible web and they're caught in it or something.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. Like, you're almost using their energy.
Okay.
You're redirecting their force.
Okay.
And you know all that sensitivity you develop through push hands.
Yeah.
That's what allows for, like, these lightning fast reactions in a real fight.
Okay.
Like, think about a boxer, right, who's constantly jabbing.
Right.
If you try to meet force with force, you're going to get overwhelmed.
Right.
But if you have that internal sensitivity, you can feel his intent. You can use his energy against him.
So it's almost like you're becoming a mirror to them.
Yeah.
Like you're, instead of meeting force with force, you're adapting.
Yes,
exactly. Flowing.
And that's where his description of the skill levels is so fascinating, because he talks about stupid hands, smart hands, and then mysterious hands.
Okay, so we gotta break this down.
Okay.
Because this sounds like straight out of like a kung fu movie.
Right. Doesn't it, though?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And, like, I'm already like, how do I get to mysterious hands? That sounds awesome.
Yeah, right. We all want that, like, next-level mastery.
Yes.
But, you know, he's demonstrating each stage as he's explaining this, which is really helpful.
Okay.
So stupid hands, as the name suggests, is like you're relying on brute force.
Okay.
You're resisting your opponent's energy. It's just like a shoving match, basically.
Which I feel like, you know, most people start there.
Most beginners, exactly, yeah.
You're just trying to, like, out-muscle the other person.
Exactly,
right.
And then you've got smart hands.
Oh.
So now technique and strategy come into play. So now you're using your knowledge to, like, anticipate your opponent's moves.
Mm-hmm.
You're using their energy against them.
No, they're thinking ahead.
Yeah, it's like a physical game of chess.
Like almost like a chess match. Okay, good.
Exactly, yeah. So you're not just reacting.
Right.
You're strategically using their movements to your advantage.
Okay, I'm with you. So then how do we get to mysterious hands?
So this is the really cool part.
Okay.
This is where, like, you've achieved a level of mastery.
Okay.
Where your technique is so ingrained, so internalized.
Yeah.
That your reactions are almost instantaneous. Like, you're not even thinking about the next move. You're just moving with the flow of energy.
So your body just, like, knows what to do. It's like intuition takes over.
It really does.
Yeah.
And so to an observer, it looks effortless. It looks magical.
Right.
Because there's no visible strain.
Got it.
And it's like you're one step ahead the whole time, reacting before your opponent has even finished their move.
Wow. Okay.
That's the mysterious hands.
So you're talking about, like, reaching this point where skill goes beyond just, like, knowing the techniques.
Yeah.
It's, like, almost instinctual.
It's like you've embodied it so fully.
Okay. So another thing that comes up a lot with internal martial arts is this idea of iron robe, right?
Right.
Being able to withstand, like, blows without flinching.
It sounds pretty superhuman, right?
Yeah, it sounds kind of invincible. So, like, how do you develop that kind of resilience in Tai Chi?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not about, like, you know, going and doing 1,000 push-ups a day or something.
Okay.
It's not about building external armor. Mizner's explanation of iron robe is really interesting.
Okay.
He says it comes from cultivating that internal fullness that we've been talking about.
Okay, so like filling that well of chi?
Exactly. Remember that water glass analogy?
Right.
A full glass. It's stable.
Okay.
It's resilient.
So it's more like building an internal force field than like a suit of armor or something.
That's a great way to put it. But here's the thing. It also involves confronting fear.
Okay.
Because he actually has his students experience getting hit.
Oh, wow.
Not to like toughen them up,
Right.
but to really confront that fear response.
Okay.
Because that fear is what makes us tense up.
Right.
And that actually works against iron robe.
Makes you like tighten up right when you need to be relaxed.
Exactly, yeah.
Interesting. So if you can overcome that fear, then your body is able to like naturally respond in that way.
Exactly, yeah. And that's why mental training is so important in Tai Chi.
Makes sense.
Because it's not just about the physical techniques.
Right.
It's about cultivating a mind that is calm, that is focused, that is responsive, even under pressure.
Right. So it's that mind-body connection, but it's like...
It's taking it to a whole other level, yeah.
Tai Chi takes it to another level.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to pick your brain about something else because you're like deep into this Tai Chi world.
Sure, yeah.
We hear a lot about centerline theory in martial arts.
Right.
Protecting your center, maintaining balance. Where does that fit in with Tai Chi?
So this is another area where Mizner kind of challenges conventional thinking. He actually thinks that, like, fixating on a static center line is limiting.
Okay.
He's more about this concept of zongding.
Zongding.
Yeah, it's not about, like, defending this fixed point.
Okay.
It's about embodying this dynamic balance between yin and yang.
So it's not about, like, being rooted to one spot.
Exactly.
It's about being able to, like, adapt and flow, almost like a willow tree bending in the wind.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
But never breaking.
Right. That's the essence of it, right?
Okay.
It's about fluidity. It's about responsiveness, not rigidity.
Got it.
And that balance, that dynamic balance, is what allows a Tai Chi master to move so effortlessly.
Okay.
Generate power from these seemingly vulnerable positions and, like, control their opponent with just incredible effectiveness.
This has been an amazing deep dive. I feel like we've really gone beyond, like, just those graceful movements that we associate with Tai Chi.
Right.
And uncovered this depth and complexity of the art, the philosophy, the strategy, the sheer power that can come from cultivating your internal energy.
It's an art that goes so much deeper than just fighting techniques.
Right.
It really is a journey of self-cultivation, refining your body and mind to unlock your true potential.
And as you continue on your journey, here's something to think about, right? Mizner said that anything that you bring to Tai Chi will benefit, but that Tai Chi principles can fundamentally change, even damage other arts. So as you're exploring, think about that. Can those seemingly opposing concepts coexist? Can they enhance one another? That's something to ponder. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.